Hello children, after a long time, so you are going to have a video with me. So because of the power failures and all these COVID situations, I think so you miss several lessons. So to avoid all these disappointments you will be having for your semester exams, I thought to create few videos to discuss the past papers, 2021 March semester examination and 2020 March semester examination. So without wasting time, straight away we'll move to the paper. So hope all of you have your 2021 March semester exam past paper. So this is how you can see your paper. And also, as this is a semester examination, you know you do have paper 1 and paper 2. Right, so this is the paper 1, last year one, but I think most of you have done your the January exam, monthly test exam, and you saw that the paper structure and the format is little bit different for this format, right? Because all these papers nowadays are done by the Lyceum assessment. So the paper structure in the sense, not the question types and all, but the way they have presented the paper is little bit different. So with the January monthly test paper experience, you know, this is not the first page and all, but the very important thing, the most important thing, whatever the format you get, children, first of all, you want to read the instructions carefully, because these instructions are for you. So they have mentioned it, instructions to candidates. You want to read the instructions first. So here we do have answer all the questions, record your answers in the spaces provided in this paper, show your workings where necessary, and they have given you the marks allocation. Part A, each question you get 2 marks. Part B, each question you get 4 marks, and part C, each question you get 5 marks. That is the marks allocation. And we'll straight away move to the next step, that is part A. And I prefer now some of the students, so those who have stayed with me for a longer period of time, you know that normally what we did, children, we normally have the working column. So when we are doing our day-to-day things also, if you are using your exercise book, it's better to have the working column separated because it's neat and you don't want to turn pages, and you don't need to keep the rough papers. And later, when you cross-check your answer, you have the working then and there, so it's easier for you and it's a very neat work. So here we can have a working column, or else we can do our working or show our workings clearly as we have enough spaces. So then the first question, it's about the LCM. You know that the term LCM, the lowest common multiple. So we do have different methods to calculate the LCM, but we'll move to the popular one amongst you. So the popular one to find the LCM. So we divide the numbers by the prime numbers, right? So what is the lowest prime number we can get for this division? It is 2. So I'll get 2. So then 3 is not divisible. I keep it as it is. And 8, this become 4. Again, I get a number. So then here 4 is divisible by 2, children. Therefore, I again take 2. Then again, I keep 3 as it is. Then 2, again 2. So then it becomes 3 and 1. Now I can move to the next prime number we have, that is 3, then 1 and 1. So you know that up to this stage, till you get that 1, 1, 1 format, you are dividing like this. Then to get the LCM, what we do, children, so we'll multiply these numbers, right? We multiply these numbers together, right? So then we'll do that. 2 multiplied by 2, wait, will you? Yeah. So then 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3. What will be the answer? 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 2, 8. And 8 times 3, 24. So the answer will be 24. So what you can do, if you have not done the paper, let's say, at this moment, don't worry. So you pause the video and you take a break and you do the paper by yourself, first of all. So it's better. Otherwise, so you are just watching the video and you're just getting the answers. But first you try, then you can mark your paper how you have done it, right? So the second one, this is from grade 6. Can you remember when you were in grade 6, we learned how to multiply the decimal numbers by 10, 100 and thousands, right? So then what you should do, children, so you want to multiply it by 100, then the place values will be changing. But for easy reference, we are telling that the decimal man is moving. But I'm telling you, so there are no that there is no such concept called the decimal point is moving. The decimal point is not moving anywhere. When you are multiplying, the place values are changing. So what happens? So as we do have 2 zeros here with 100, what will happen? So we can write it as 2.5. So earlier it was here, now it is here. So 2 steps because of the 2 zeros, right? And the next one, this is from the chapter 11, 12, 13. So the algebraic factors, the factorization. So how you can expand this? So you know that number 3, so you are going to multiply like this. In the exam, you don't want to show the arrows like this, children. I'm showing all these things for your reference. So what you can do, 3 times 2x, it is 6x, and 3 times 1, it is 3. So whatever the components you can see inside the bracket will multiply. So they will be multiplied by the outer number, that is number 3. Then the next one, you want to be mindful with the place values because they have given that it's confusing a little bit because 21, 21.2 and 21.222. So then when the question, it is given in the horizontal way, but to do this, we want to rearrange this in the vertical way. But when we are arranging this in the vertical way, very important to think about the place value. So this is 21, then the other one is 21.2, then the other one is 21.22. See, children, so how I wrote the place values. Then if I have any spaces, what I'm doing, I'm writing the zeros, then it's easier for me, and I'm going to add all 3 together. Then what will be the answer? Here 2, then here 4, then 3. Yeah, so then my answer will be 63, right? 63. Children, can you see what I'm doing when I'm writing the answers? So can you see something different? So whatever the working, I'm showing here the right side. And can you see this here? Look at this. So all the equation marks in one line. So then it's very neat, right? Whoever the person who is marking your paper, so he or she is very happy about your work, right? Apart from that whatever the correct answers, the person who is marking will be very happy after seeing this neat work, right? Then we'll move to question number 5. Question number 5. Yeah, what's the theory we have to recall here? Again, this is from grade 7 knowledge. You have the same base value, the index, you are going to multiply the numbers which are in index form, and you see the base value. So the 2 and 2, they are equal. Then in that case, what we do, children, if we are multiplying the numbers which are in index form, so then 2 to the power inside the bracket 3 plus 2. You do like this, right? As it's a multiplication. Then you show it as 2 to the power 5, children. Some of you are trying to multiply that 2 times, 2 times, 2 times, and you are going to get the answer. But did you read the question properly? You want to write the final answer in index form, right? So then you don't want to go with the value and you don't want to multiply and get the final answer. So in this question, you want to write the answer in index form, but be mindful, sometimes you will get questions, find the value. In that case, you want to expand that 2 to the power 5, 2 times, 2 times, 2 times, 2 times 2. So you expand it and you multiply and get the final answer. But here, we want to keep the final answer in index form. It's very easy. So you just added the indices 3 plus 2 and the answer is 2 to the power 5. Then we'll move to the question number 6. what is the gradient and y-intercept of the line? Now, children, so you want to keep that in your mind. They are testing whether you know this formula. Y equal mx plus c. M is what? The gradient. And c is the y-intercept. That is the point where the line cuts the y-axis, right? So when you look at the equation, easily you can find the gradient. This 3 is the gradient, right? So this is the gradient. This is how you can write, children. And this -4 will be the y-intercept, right? That will be the y-intercept. So then you can conclude your answer. Therefore, m is equal to 3 and c is equal to -4. Now you can see that. So this is a positive gradient. Can you remember? So what type of angle that line will create with the x-axis, children? It's an acute angle, right? Because this is a positive gradient. And what do you understand with this -4? Whatever the line we are talking here will cut the y-axis at which point? That -4. So this is the indication we should have. So after looking at the equation, the gradient and the y-intercept. Then we'll move to question number 7. So you do have 2 brackets. This is very simple. I'm showing it with step by step, but you don't want to do like that, right? Straight away you can get the answer. But anyone who has not understood the lesson well, so what I'm doing, so then first you multiply the first item by the first item in the second bracket by the first item in the first bracket. That means simply in x times x, it is x squared. Then you multiply the second item in the second bracket like this. X times -5, it is -5x, right? Then you'll take this one, the third step. 5 times x, it is positive 5x. Then 5 times -5, it is -25. Now what you can see, children, here, -5x, positive yx, so it becomes 0 because you can cancel it, right? So then what will be the answer? X squared minus 25. Children, you don't want to follow that step. If you can remember that the difference between the squares, can you remember we had a separate topic when you were learning this thing in the school? So when you see that the format x plus 5 and x minus 5, straight away you can get that the square of x and the square of 5, but the in between those, so we have the negative sign, that is the difference, right? So difference, because 25 is the square value of 5. So x squared minus 25. So then we want to get the reciprocal. So what do you mean by the reciprocal, children? What happened to the denominator value and the numerator values? They get changed. So then what will be the answer? It is 7/2. What happened? Earlier in the numerator, you found number 2. Now after getting the reciprocal, you can find that 2 in the denominator. Earlier, you found number 7 in the denominator. After getting the reciprocal, children, you can find number 7 in the numerator. So you just change the numbers, the numerator and the denominator. So then you are getting that up and down. So reciprocal. So then the next one, 2 to the power 0. Can you remember? So when you have 2 to the power 0, what will be the value? 2 to the power 0, 3 to the power 0, 4 to the power 0, whatever it is, whatever the base value. If the index is 0, what will happen, children? The value is 1. Can you remember? 2 to the power 0, 3 to the power 0. This is not the degree. This is 0, children. Right? Then 4 to the power 0, x to the power 0, p to the power 0. Whatever it is, whatever the base value, if you see that it's to the power 0, that means in simple terms, index is 0, the value will be 0. So value will be 1. Sorry, value will be 1. Then half. Then here you can convert this mixed number into an improper fraction. So then this becomes 3/2. So as I have the fraction here, what I'm going to do, that 1 also write as a fraction. You know that 1 I can write as 1/1. Now what happened, children? So I have two different denominators here, 1 and 2. So then what I do, I convert, see what I'm doing, children. So with the time, if you follow my lessons, with the time you learn that the easy way to do all these things. So then 1, I convert it to 2 because I want to get the common denominator. Then this become 2, right? Because 2 over 2 again, it's 1. And here 1 and 3. Now you have the common denominator, you draw the longer line, then you have 2, then you add the numerator values like this. 6 over 2, the answer will be 3, right? Okay, so then the last question in part A, children, a letter from the word distance is selected at random. Find the probability of selecting letter T. First of all, so can you remember the probability? So that uncertainty we were talking, right? And here the select probability of selecting letter T. First of all, you want to know how many letters you can find in this word, children. So you want to count, right? This is how you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So you have 8 letters, right? Out of 8 letters, so how many T letters you can find? Only T, right? So then you write the probability of selecting T is 1 over 8. So you have 8 letters, out of which you have only 1 T letter. So then selecting T, the probability is 1 over 8. Okay, so quickly we'll have a recap. Question 1 to 10, quickly, part A. Okay, part A, the first question, it's about the LCM. So you want to practice how to calculate the LCM. So using the prime numbers. Children, some of the children, so they think always we want to start from number 2. So that is wrong. So here I use a word, you want to start the division with the lowest possible prime number. Sometimes, let's say you have that the number which that whatever the numbers they have given, we cannot start dividing by 2. So the division we can't start with 2. Then we have to move to the second next prime number we have, that is 3. Sometimes it is also not possible. Then we'll move to 5. No, it's not possible. Then we are going to start it with 7. Therefore, so don't that keep that the wrong thing in your mind. So you don't need to start from 2 always, right? So you want to look at the numbers which you have to find the LCM, and you want to start the division with the lowest possible prime number. It can be 2, 3, 5, 7 times. So sometimes we don't know, right? Then we multiply all the numbers. 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 2, 8, 8 times 3, 24. Then the second question, you have the decimal value and you multiply it by 100, right? So though we are telling that for easy reference, when we have the 100, we do have 2 zeros. Therefore, we are moving the decimal man 2 steps to the right. That is a wrong concept. Decimal point is not moving anywhere. The place values and the values of all the digits of each the places will be changed when you are multiplying, right? So then keep that in your mind, but don't keep that the misconception that the decimal point is moving. It is, though we are that referring that word, it's a misconception. You want to keep that in your mind. The decimal point was there here. So then now the decimal point is here. So the 2 steps, right? So then that is why we feel that the decimal point is moving. No. So the place values are changing. The value of each digit will be changing, right? Then the question number 3, you want to expand, then you multiply all the components inside the bracket by the outer component. So then 3 times 2x, it is 6x, and 3 times 1, it is 3. Then the next one, question number 4, the most important thing when you are writing the numbers in the vertical format, you want to write the numbers at the correct place value. And if you find any that the spaces, you can fill them with the zeros, then it's easier for you to add. So then your answer will be 63.42. Then question number 5. So the knowledge we want to recall. So when you multiply the numbers which are written in index form, if we find the same base value, we can add the indices as this is a multiplication. So I showed my working there itself. So then 3 plus 2, then I write the final answer 2 to the power 5, and I am not finding the value here because they have asked me to keep the final answer in index form. So here we want to keep in our mind, so need to read the question instruction properly. Otherwise, you are going to waste your time to find the value, which will be then the unnecessary thing to get the marks. Then the next one, you know the line format, the straight line equation format, y equal mx plus c, right? Then the m will be the gradient and c will be the y-intercept. What do you mean by the y-intercept, children? So that is the point where the line cuts the y-axis, right? So then here it is -4. The gradient will be +3. Then question number 7. So if you have practiced many sums, when you see this format x plus 5 and x minus 5, you know they are talking about the difference between the squares. But if you are not familiar with that, don't worry. So you can do the workings like this. Then first you multiply that x times x, then x times -5, then 5 times x and 5 times -5. So you get the answer like this, then you can simplify. Finally, you get x squared minus 25. But if you are familiar with this format, no need to do the working straight away. You can show your final answer, that is x squared minus 5 squared, that is 25. Then the reciprocal, the values will be changing. Whatever the value you had in the numerator will come to the denominator, and whatever the value you had in the denominator will come to the numerator. Then the next one, question number 9. So 2 to the power 0. So that is the main thing they are going to check here. So if you have that to the power 0, always the value will be 1. 3 to the power 0, 4 to the power 0, 5 to the power 0, whatever it is, you get the answer 1. Then you convert the third mixed number into an improper fraction, right? So then you have that 3 fractions here. What I did, children, 1 also I wrote it as a fraction, then it's easier for me. So then you find that the 2 different denominators, when you have the 2 different denominators, you convert them into the common denominator. Then I converted that into 2. So then I adjusted the numerator according to the denominator. Then I get 2 over 2. So then when I add all these things, the numerator values, I got 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 3, 6, 6 over 2, the final answer is 3. And question number 10 is from probability lesson. So you want to find the probability of selecting letter T. And for that, to get the probability value and to write it as a fraction, we want to find the total number of letters we can find in this word. Here we do have 8 letters. So out of 8 letters, we have only 1 T letter. Therefore, probability of selecting T. Now, some of the students, they are asking when I am having the paper discussion, teacher, is it okay to write that only 1.8? So I can't say that that is wrong, but that is not complete. So always try your best to have the complete answers, children. Okay, so this is all about part A. March semester examination 2021, right? So I'm going to have the videos for each part, then it's easier for you. Otherwise, if it is lengthy, so you will be that any child who has not learned from me earlier, so you find it difficult. So for all of your reference, easy reference, what I am planning to do, children, I'm releasing the videos part by part, the same that the 2021 March semester examination grade 8. Part B will be a separate one. So till then, so you can practice these 10 questions together with the box examples you can find in your textbook, right? So then we'll meet again with part B. Stay safe, children. So sooner you will be having part B. Okay, so goodbye, children.